Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Rich Klindworth. It was a tense situation at an area high school this morning after students were evacuated and police swarmed the area. The search for Amber Wilde, the college student who went missing 16 years ago, continues. We're learning new details this noon on the investigation of a Door County fish company. Well, this year's midterm contest is already one for the history books. A record number of black candidates are running for federal office. A boy who was convicted of killing his grandmother will spend the rest of his life in prison despite trying to get a new sentence. All right, thanks, Justin. In other local news this morning, Manitowoc police are asking for your help in identifying a bank robbery suspect. 3 U.S. Navy sailors are attacked in Turkey. Governor Scott Walker will be in our area today to honor a local fallen soldier. The girl meets boy, girl dates boy, girl breaks up with boy, and then girl gets an interesting present in the mail. Take a look at this. Well, as Justin was just talking about, our winter weather has returned here to northeast Wisconsin, and that means a potentially slippery start to the day on area roads. European scientists are relieved right now that their landing craft is safely on the surface of a comet, but it appears to be standing on just 2 of its 3 feet. Because fingernails are now fashion. There are more than 50,000 nail salons across the country. I hope you had a great weekend. Of course, any weekend's great whenever the Packers beat the Bears. Am I right? Your parents and coaches teach you not to gloat and be a good sport, but this morning we're throwing all of that out the window. With the Packers destroying the Vikings last night, our counterparts, Jamie and Jason at WCCO in Minneapolis, had to read a poem that I wrote to their viewers this morning. So here now, for your enjoyment, is Ode to a Former Vikings Fan. Not only is that song disgusting, but it kind of reminds me of the Green Acres theme.
And do you know that smell of winter? Do you guys know what I'm talking about when
Death
I say
and destruction and cold.
Well, maybe not that extreme.
It is the 5th of November, 2014, the day after Election Day, or Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rich Klindworth. It was kind of fun yesterday watching the leaves float around in the wind. It was almost like it was snowing leaves.
It really was.
I mean, it was sort of magical at times because the leaves would just float.
It's pretty.
Clearly coming from a guy who doesn't have to rake a yard.
Absolutely. I was actually driving back and forth on the road honking at people who were trying to rake their leaves.
You were not. Don't do that.
No, I didn't.
It
would have been funny if I did, though.
This is Local 5 News at noon in HD.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Rich Klindworth. We will get to Election Day in just a moment, but first we have an update to a standoff that began last night and continued through this morning, leading to the closing of a Lakeshore school today. Sheboygan police say a 21-year-old man has been apprehended without incident. Last night, his family members had safety concerns about him and called police. They say he had access to a gun in the South 10th Street home. For public safety concerns, the standoff led to a 2-hour delay and then the eventual cancellation of classes for Farnsworth Middle School. Election Day has arrived, and your local election headquarters has you covered. Even before the polls opened this morning, voters were chomping at the bit to get their voices heard. In Alloway, 22 people stood in line outside of the Village Hall before it opened. While many said that they're looking for a change in leadership, others feel the state is on the right path. Alloway voting officials expect their voting numbers to be well above the state's projected turnout, and those polling places expect to get a bump in activity as we speak. Local 5's Melaine Wells is live in Green Bay now with that part of the story. Melaine. Thanks, Melaine. Meanwhile, the state attorney general is sending extra help across Wisconsin to ensure the election has integrity. Assistant attorneys general and special agents will be stationed at various polling places, including Green Bay and Appleton. They will observe and assist local election officials as well as ensure compliance with state election laws. Even though it's Election Day, the candidates are still campaigning, trying to get those last-second votes. Earlier this morning, Governor Scott Walker cast his ballot. He then traveled up to Green Bay, where just a little bit ago he took part in an event at Kroll's West. And while there, the governor had a snack of Wisconsin cheese curds. Democratic candidate for governor Mary Burke was also in Titletown this morning. She met with supporters at the Democratic Party of Brown County headquarters. Burke encouraged everyone to get out and vote today. Now, if you haven't voted yet, there is a measure on your ballot that you're being asked to vote on. It's a transportation fund amendment. Voters will decide whether to amend the state constitution to guarantee money in the transportation fund will not be used for other purposes. And don't forget, tonight we will be covering the governor's race as well as the other big races across the state and here in northeast Wisconsin. We will also have your election information on our website, wearegreenbay.com. This midterm election day features a fight for control of the U.S. Senate. Mark Albert has the latest. In local news this noon, police are searching for the suspects in the shooting of a 17-year-old. Green Bay police say that teen suffered minor injuries as a result. It happened at a home in the 900 block of Stewart Street last night. Investigators do not believe that the public is in any danger. One of the 6 men convicted of killing Tom Monfiles wants a new trial. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports that lawyers for Keith Katuska filed a motion for a new trial. His attorneys believe that Monfiles killed himself. He was found dead in a Green Bay paper mill's pulp vat back in 1992. All 6 men convicted in his death have tried to appeal their convictions, but only one, Mike Pazakowski, was exonerated in 2001. Take a look at this video. Police are searching for a woman after she was seen here being forced into a car. She's identified as 22-year-old Carlicia Gaithier. This happened in Philadelphia. Her phone and glasses were found at the scene. Coming up, Vikings running back Adrian Peterson's criminal case could be resolved today. We'll tell you why. Plus, there's a new drawback to working the night shift. That's coming up in our Health Watch.